Hi, Holy Cross family. I want to share a story with you today that comes from an essay by Emily Pearl Kingsley called Welcome to Holland. She wrote it after she gave birth to a child with Down syndrome, and it was written to try to help people understand this unique experience and to imagine how it would feel. And this is how it goes. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and you make your wonderful plans, the Colosseum, Michelangelo's David, the gondolas in Venice. You may even learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives, you pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands, the stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks. And you must learn a whole new language. And you will meet a whole new group of people you would never have met. It's just a different place, a slower paced place than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, and Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy. And they're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain of that will never, ever, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland. Now, even though the author is referring to someone who has a child with a disability, still it's a great truth biblically for us, because it illustrates when life doesn't turn out the way we had planned, when we have one set of expectations and, well, God has something else. And this is a theme all through the Bible. It's often where we learn who God really is. It's a place where we often learn how to trust, how to be dependent, and to give up our natural independence from God. It may even be the place of our salvation. Now think about the Christmas story for just a moment. Do you think Mary and Joseph would have chosen it the way it worked out? Do you think they would have chosen a stable rather than the inn where there was no room, surrounded by animals and their feces? Would they have chosen that for their labor and delivery room? And what parent would want to put their baby to sleep not in a crib, but in a manger where animals eat? And then there were those dirty shepherds who showed up to see the baby, and you know they didn't wash their hands before they reached out to touch Jesus. No, for Mary and Joseph, the Christmas story was not what they would have planned, but it was absolutely what God had planned. Galatians 4:4 says this, "But when the set time had fully come, God sent his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those under the law, that we might receive adoption to sonship." I'm so thankful for God's plan. Obviously, 2020 has been a year that feels like we ended up in Holland when we had planned for Italy. And there's plenty of proof all around us, including an entire church staff in quarantine, and this beautiful building decorated for Christmas, and I'm the only one in. We don't get to have our in-person Christmas services. We don't get to have our in-person Christmas Eve services, and that is not what we had planned. But I do thank God that he has made provision. I do want to remind you as we come toward Christmas that historically, well, December is our best month giving-wise. Financially, well, we could potentially miss a lot of giving opportunities. After all, we would normally have 1,800 people at our church buildings on Christmas Eve alone. And that's not happening this year. So I would ask you to be generous at the end of this year. We still are about $75,000 from ending the year in the black. We still need about $30,000 in pledges toward our building fund to meet that $214,000 goal. And there's still a bit of time for God to do a Christmas miracle. Perhaps He's going to change your plan and invite you to give above and beyond what you had originally intended. Would you consider that prayerfully? And would you please join me 5 p.m. online at holycross.net so that we can worship our Lord in our Christmas Eve service together. We'll have something for the kids, including a sermon. We'll have a coloring sheet. We'll have hymns and carols. We'll have communion. And of course, be sure you have your candles ready so we can sing Silent Night together at the end of the service. I wish I could be with you in person. But, well, we're in Holland. Well, let's make the best of it. And let's, together, online, worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Merry Christmas, my friends, and God bless you. I'll see you soon.